Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining me on the new episode of Best and Worst Track of the Week. Today's episode is going to be covering the Best and Worst Track of the week of August 1st. Um, which, if today's your first time listening to Best and Worst Track of the Week, it's quite simple. Um, I take the new entries coming into the Billboard Hot 100 and review them all with a letter grade and pick one that is the worst and one that is the best. And yeah, before we get started, I just want to let everyone know a new review dropped today over the latest Ellie Goulding album, Brightest Blue. If you're interested in Ellie Goulding or any pop music, make sure you check that episode out. Um, but yeah, Oliver Tree was the one previous before that, just in case you missed that one as well. But yeah, let's get into this very light week. So overall, this week is a hell of a lot easier and lighter. This is going to be a really condensed episode. Overall, just four new entries. The album bomb shenanigans has died down for now. Next week, there's probably going to be another one with Taylor Swift's album, but we'll handle that when that arrives. But yeah, some other interesting notes I've noticed is that a lot of re-entries from songs that we've covered, such as like Parker McCollum's Pretty Heart, um, Pop Smoke featuring Carol G, Enjoy Yourself, that track. Let's see what else. Bang by AJR came back. Stuff of that nature. And then a lot of the stuff from Juice World went either dropped out or went down significantly, which is expected from an album bomb since it's all sales um, that are initially reported. Unfortunately, there are some tracks that I have no idea why they keep on rising up, um, like that Josh track, Josh 685 and Jason Derulo. Have no idea why that's charting as high as it is. Probably because of TikTok. Um, what else is on here that we've covered? The Bigger Picture by Little Baby, that went up a little bit. That was a good track. Rags to Riches, that's one I still don't understand why it's going up. That one's up to 41 this week. Said Some by Moneybagg Yo went up 19 spots to 44. Why? I don't know. Low Cash, One Big Country Song. I think that was like on the very first episode of Best Orange Track of the Week. That one's up, but it's probably short-lived with the album bomb incoming, pending by Taylor Swift. But nonetheless, let's get started on the Best Orange Track of the Week. First track came in quite low this week. It's called Breaking Me by Topic and A7S. Probably artists that most people aren't familiar with due to them being foreign. Topic being a German EDM DJ, producer, and A7S, I believe, being a Swedish singer. And that's just apparent when you throw this thing on. It has a typical European style EDM track, even down to the vocals to a T. It's kind of like I guess, a different flavor of Calvin Harris's vocals. It has a typical house beat with deep, punchy synth bass lines. Uh, the hook is easily the reason why the song is charting. It's the most memorable part of the song overall. It's a decent song, but it really doesn't develop at all throughout the track. Doesn't really give you a high moment. It kind of just stays flat throughout the whole entire thing. And it's suspiciously similar to the same vibe I get from a song that came out in 2015, I believe, called Ocean Drive by Duke Dumont. That was another like weird EDM track that kind of had like its time in the I guess limelight. Overall, this track's a C. Next track is debuted quite high. I think it came in like at number 3, Pop Star featuring Drake by DJ Khaled. Um, No surprise there with those two names. Of course, DJ Khaled. I think this is the first DJ Khaled song I've covered on this whole entire podcast, actually. Um, what can you say about DJ Khaled? His fame makes little to no sense. He's more of a personality. I know in the Oliver Tree I mentioned internet personalities digging their roots deep into music now. Um, I might be mistaken. DJ Khaled might be the pioneer with that. Um, he's definitely doing something to put out these hits because Popstar overall is a really captivating track with like this main hook that just really grooves that Drake just sings multiple times in the track. It's one of those Drake singing tracks with like a little bit of rapping. The drum track comes in with this anticipation also. So when that hits in the song, you already know it's a banger. The song is easily a banger. It has like the angry Drake rap style. I'm upset, like aesthetic. Interesting character on the hook um, on this track by Drake. It's very danceable at times. The beat hits really hard. It's basically structured by the simple chord progression with a hovering synth line or sample that just like kind of has like two chords that just goes back and forth throughout the whole entire track. It's a little trancy. This one also almost got best track of the week, but I kind of had to make some this very limited decisions with only four songs. But this was a B, and that actually brings us to our worst track already. Um, being from DJ Khaled and Drake because they released two singles at the same time, Grease. Now, I'd say this, although this is a bad song, I'd say take this week with a grain of salt. It is nowhere near as bad as like some other weeks. Um, there's already some sticking out in my head right now about how bad uh, the material was on some weeks. Anyways, Grease by DJ Khaled. Um, it immediately in the first 5 seconds of the song, you get like the classic DJ Khaled producer tags. They waste no time getting to that. Drake's vocals are pitched up to a unnatural sounding register. There's a deep sub bass that sounds really dirty. It's really not that appealing. And there's an obvious weekend influence, like an off-brand weekend great value, if you will. Great value from Walmart. There's a sappy bouginess to it. I call it like a neo luxury rap. Luxury rap being like bling rap from the 2000s. The beat does shine in certain parts, especially in the interludes where there's no vocal. Um, and then there's some light guitar melodies you can hear. The bridge is really what kills it too because it's elongated and it's really uninteresting and it doesn't revert back to the hook, so there's no payoff either, and it's just a poorly structured song with, I guess, really cheesy aesthetics. I gave this one worst track of the week for that reason. Best track of the week is interesting because it's by an artist I typically don't jive with too well, and that is The Climb Back by J. Cole. J. Cole being a successful rapper, he's considered by many to be one of the biggest names out right now. In my opinion, I like to tip my hat more towards the K dot side of things. But J. Cole, I do respect him. It's just not my favorite rapper. But this track overall is kind of just supported by like this relaxed, sultry beat and production. I like the balance overall in that production as well with the sub bass that's not too overbearing. The mids are audible. J. Cole's flow is like a little Danny Brown at the beginning. Danny Brown being, a great rapper, one of my favorites. The song, I guess, contents. I don't know if J. Cole's like calling out the whole entire game. He's kind of like self-proclaiming himself king. There's more to it, but I didn't look too much into this since this is a informal review. Um, Also, it progresses to like a fast flow rapping style, kind of like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I really enjoyed that. I like the ambience of the track overall. It kind of stays constant and it doesn't get too stale. Um, but yeah, interesting outro as well. I give it best track of the week. And that concludes Best and Worst Track of the Week for this week. I will see you guys next week and take care of yourselves.